Hello. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the process of transferring from software engineering to product management. And while it's maybe possible for product managers to make less than software engineers in some cases, especially on the low end of cases for both of them, in most cases, especially on the average and on the high end of things, product managers will generally make more money than software engineers. So then what you might be asking yourself, why would anyone choose a software engineering path? And I'll get to that. At least for the average and the low end of these careers, the difference between the salaries between software engineering and the product management isn't going to be too high. It might be like 10% or less, which is still going to be a considerable chunk considering this is usually going to be six-figure income. So it could be like 10K, could be more depending on how much you make. So the difference in how much you're going to make is also going to matter, like if you're on the high end of software engineering or the high end of product management. So in that case, the difference is going to be much, much higher than on the low end. And so, for example, you could make anywhere as a product manager from 11% more at Facebook to maybe 60% more as a product manager at Microsoft compared to a software engineer at Microsoft and respectively a software engineer at Facebook as well. So salary per usual shouldn't be your only indicator when choosing whether you want to pick software engineering or product management. So you should look at the whole picture and the whole career track as a whole. So for example, if two people, they both started off in software engineering as junior software engineers, and then eventually they're going to get to senior software engineer after 2 to 5 years or something like that. So this is when the career paths between a software engineer and a product manager starts to really differ. So after senior software engineer, someone might want to transition into product management because they might see, oh, I can make more money in product management. And then someone might say, oh, I know, I like coding and I like technology. So they might want to also transition into architect, or maybe like move up into like principal architect or some super senior software engineer, for lack of a better name. However, if you're not really at the point in your career where you're not like at a senior software engineer, I wouldn't really worry about the difference between being a product manager or like an architect or after senior software engineer yet. I wouldn't worry about that until you get to the senior level, at least. However, you should worry about it if you want to decide whether you want to get an MBA or not, because getting an MBA would help in becoming a product manager. However, it wouldn't help at all if you wanted to become something after a senior software engineer that is related to, I guess, coding. So like being an architect or a principal architect or something like that. So in the senior software engineering career path, you're generally going to go from senior software engineer to product manager to a director of some sorts, so director of whatever, director of management. And then eventually after that, you'll eventually become a VP. Of course, that's a long time down the road, but that's kind of the route you're expecting. And it's kind of like a similar route. Of course, when you're climbing the ladder, you're always going to go up in rank. That's what climbing is. The senior software engineer path will kind of go with start senior software engineer, and then you're going to go to product manager, and then to architect, and principal architect, and then maybe a CTO or something like that after. So the ease of getting a new job once you lose your job is an important factor when you're considering which job to go for, whether it be software engineering or product management, at least which one to focus on specifically. Because especially in like hard times like a recession, which in 2020 it's gonna start looking like that with the coronavirus. So just on the numbers, it's going to be easier to get a software engineering role. If everything dies, or every job dies, then it's going to be easier overall to get a senior software engineering role compared to product management. So this comes from the fact that just based on the numbers, the average Scrum team, so Scrum teams where software engineers and testers will work on some products, average Scrum team will have anywhere from like 5 to 9 people in it, most of them being software engineers and developers, and usually only one product manager. Of course, there's outliers to this, there could be more or less, but that means that these developers will outnumber the product manager like by 5 to 9 times. So that means it's going to be 5 to 9 times harder to get a job as a product manager, because there's generally going to be that many more people trying to get those positions because it pays more. Why not? So this is not even taking into account that people in non-tech roles, like English majors or business majors, they can go for these product management roles, while not everyone knows how to code. So they can't, not everyone can go for the software engineering role. So for example, people who major in business, business is generally, if you ask both a business major and a computer science major, which one's harder, both of them will probably say the computer science major, like hands down. And so these people who major in business, who most likely will get an MBA, they're gonna be fighting for these product management roles as well. So that's gonna be just make it more difficult to find a position in product management. So if you're starting up from the beginning and you have your eyes set on product management, I want to say that to transition into product management, it will be much easier at a large company. So think of like FAANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Apple, and stuff like that, Microsoft. So it's going to be easier at these larger companies because, of course, there's more people, and it's kind of like a better environment because they just, once you get into these companies, you can move around as you please. So if you're dead set on product management, try a bigger company, not a smaller one. I would also recommend working on your communication skills, like presenting things. If you're like still in college, presenting things to people. If you're not in college, maybe presenting your work to like your team and stuff like that. So you can prepare your product for your team. You can present it well. If you present it well, then you're on your way to being a good product manager, because you need to have good communication skills to manage your product. So you want to also maybe talk to other product managers if you're a software engineer, and this will help you make sure that this is the right thing for you and that you want to know what you're getting into. So another idea maybe is to start your own product, so you can learn how to manage your product and maybe learn how to code it yourself. So you get the whole process in, so you can really get a good understanding of what managing it will be, or maybe get someone to help work on it for you, and then you can help manage what they're working on, but not many people will do that. So overall, going and transferring from software engineering to a product manager role will be easy to do, since you will have, once you get enough experience in software engineering, you're going to have a solid understanding of the whole technology lifecycle, the software engineering lifecycle, and you'll understand how products are built and the effort required to build them. Anyways, that's this video. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'll see you later. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe and follow and like and whatnot. I'll see ya.